issues like sedition. How will you, as Shah Faesal, that change?
These taboo words in the public management change. We need to tell people that nothing happens. Nobody dies and somebody says honesty. What happens? Nothing happens. People don't die because of that.
Muslim United Movement also tried starting electoral politics in '87, but elections were rigged. How do you expect people also to
I think we should do that if somebody fails us, we will try it one more time. It's okay. I mean, it was rigged once, it will be rigged twice, it will be rigged thrice, but then the truth doesn't actually change. Thank you.
चेयर थोड़ा आगे लाए चेयर थोड़ा आगे और आगे आप थोड़ा साइड में रहें फैसल साहब क्या कर रहे हो कीप क्वाइट अपना शॉट कर शॉट
Yes, yes.
Abi maaş arkasın ya. Rahatla.
भाई मोबाइल हटाओ ना वहां से क्या है इतना काम कर रहा है आप लगाइए वो
ज़्यादा भाई
स्टार्ट
Thank you very much. So, it's a very important day in my life today. After serving for around 9 years in the Indian Active Service, I have decided to resign from the service. This resignation has nothing to do with the factors within the service, but has everything to do with factors external to the service and the environment in which I have been working in. I must thank all my well-wishers, my family, my friends, who have supported me all these years in this amazing journey as a member of the service. The service has given me an opportunity to understand the development problems of the state and serve the people at the grassroots level. I will always be a proud ex-member of the service. Having said that, in the last few years, there have been some circumstances both within the state and the rest of the country which have made me realize that there is time to speak up. By today's resignation, I am putting across a small act of defiance to remind the central government of its responsibilities towards the people of Jammu and Kashmir. I am resigning in protest against the lack of political initiative to assuage the hurt feelings of the people of Kashmir. Lack of a credible political initiative from the central government and denial of justice to the people of Kashmir has resulted into a massive escalation of violence in the valley, due to which a lot of lives have been lost in recent years. I wish to remind the central government that it's important that the right to life of the Kashmiri youth is respected. At the same time, if we look at the recent years, we have seen serious attacks on the special identity of the Jammu and Kashmir state. The constitutional arrangement which exists between the state of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union of India under Articles like 370 and 35A have been constantly invoked for electoral gains in West Himalayan India. One more important source of my rejection to the present government has been the failure of the government to facilitate the homecoming of Kashmiri Pandits to the Kashmir Valley. Kashmiri Pandits are an important element of our diverse culture, and unless you create situation and circumstances favorable to their return in the valley, they will not be able to come back. I am also appalled by the lack of initiative to work towards bringing peace to the lives of border residents of the state, more so in Jammu, Araspura, Rajouri and other areas, where loss of life and limb is happening as a regular feature. Outside the state, we have seen that there have been constant attempts to undermine the regional integrity of the state. And an attempt is being made to play one region against another. Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, Pir Panchal, and Chenab Valley. These are very important and equal regions of the state, and any attempt to play one region against another needs to be resisted. When it comes to factors outside the state, the rise of lynch mob nationalism in last 2 years, which has led to extreme marginalization of the minorities, both ideological minorities and the religious minorities in the country, that has become a source of extreme rejection for me. I also wish to express my disgruntlement, which has in fact led to this decision today. It's about the curbs placed on the free speech of the individuals in the country and a culture of hate and intolerance being used to win elections in India. Lastly, I would say that it's the undermining of the very important institutions like CBI, NIA, and RBI, which have the potential of hurting the constitutional edifice of this country. These things and these provocations were something which I could not have overlooked. As a member of service, due to the conduct rules, it was impossible for me to speak on these issues. And today, as I chose to spoke out, I am feeling extremely relieved. I wish to make an appeal to the people of India that they need to come to the rescue of the people of India. It's time that we work together for peace in the country. It's time that we counter the communal and hateful elements of the country and ensure that a message of tolerance and peace goes from here. I'll be expecting support from people across the country, more so the youngsters from Kashmir Valley, Jammu, Ladakh, Kargil, Leh, Pir Panchal, Chenab Valley and other areas in this initiative. as I plan to embark on a new mission and a new journey in my life, I wish to go back to the grassroots, and I'll be trying to work for the people, working for the empowerment. At the same time, I wish that there is a time now to reimagine the politics in Jammu and Kashmir. It's time that we disrupt the politics the way it has been happening, and I'll be trying my best to do that. I thank you all for being here today, and I'll take your questions.
So basically, people have reacted. Some have reacted in positive way, some have reacted in a negative way. Basically, there are suggestions that Shah Faesal should create his own party, establish his own party. Why can't Shah Faesal be like an Imran Khan like Pakistan?
Honestly speaking, I'm deeply inspired by Imran Khan and Kejriwal. But we know that we're operating in a conflict zone, and it's not very easy for us to work in that space. A space which has lost legitimacy in the last few years. I wish if the youngsters of the state give me that kind of opportunity, I would be very happy to do a retake of Imran Khan and Kejriwal in the state.
Sir, what about the yesterday's invitation by Engineer Rashid? Have you accepted that or not?
It's very nice of Engineer Rashid Saab to have invited me. My plan is to hold consultations with the stakeholders, talk to youngsters, talk to other political parties as well, and try to build a consensus that in Kashmir we need to come together. We are in a crisis situation. It's not time to do politics on the graves of the people, on the graves of the youngsters. So I'll be trying to reach out to all of the people.
Why don't you Hi. I just want to ask a question. Why, at the end of the day, we'll be going to change political parties for the responsible for the killings of hundreds of youth, particularly for the last 6 years. Whether it be PDP, they were also responsible for the murder of more than 100 people, or not also not. So if you look at that, the main politics in Kashmir Valley basically has not been able to give an answer to the aspirations of the young, old, or the people who are in the grave.
I wrote in an Express article also recently that mainstream politics will have to be reimagined, and we need to tell the truth to the people. As of now, I do not have any plans to join any existing mainstream party. So that question gets answered, and I think
Does it mean you are closer to the options of joining any existing mainstream party?
I think as of now, I plan to go to the field, listen to the ground whispers, listen to youngsters, listen to important stakeholders of the valley and the state, and then take a decision.
What about the upcoming elections? Are you going to contest?
I would be very happy to contest the upcoming elections. In fact, I believe that Parliament and legislative space is a very important space, and we need well-meaning and right people there. It's just that in recent years, due to delegitimization of the electoral politics, because the way it has been conducted, we have lost interest. Our youth are not attracted to these institutions. I think we need to change that. And I wish to use the Parliament as an important source of connection and engagement for bringing solutions for our case.
Cannot say you are fighting independently.
I think I will be taking that decision once I talk to people.
So there's a lot of conception among you that you should launch your own party because mainstream parties are nothing to it. Their main ability to support this on you.
My only worry in Kashmir this time is that youngsters or maybe our voters, there's a lot of trust deficit. The moment you start a party, people say that it's a party sponsored by the agencies. The moment you go independent, people say, oh, this is an agency person. The moment you join an existing party, then people have problems with joining the existing parties. So that's why I believe that unless there is a consensus on which side should I be actually joining.
So how much time it will take for you to make a consensus?
I plan to reach youngsters. I want to start it from tomorrow onwards only, and I'm going to meet as many people and try to understand. Actually, I've been in civil service. It's my new kind of initiation in politics.
If these young people tell you to join, for example, in a case like that, if you get 4 or 5 allegations in one room and they tell you to join, would you do that?
I'm a man from the system, and I have an experience. My specialization is in governance. I'm not essentially trained to be in politics. So I will be happy to do something in an institution where I can use my skills as a governance administrator. I wish I could do that elsewhere as well, but because Korea does not give me that kind of opportunity, very rightly because they do not believe in electoral politics, we have to accept that difference of opinion. So I think maybe at this moment I may not be able to do that.
Sir, is there
Master
any
Faisal, post 2010, we have seen a rise that Kashmiri students going to Delhi for UPSC coaching, but at the same time, in your Facebook, statement, you said that you had a problem for the last 1 year because you were live on Facebook. You said, you were frustrated with the system because you were seeing the system has seen you as a Muslim officer, but now you helping the Kashmiri students for the UPSC coaching. How do you think you will be able to convince them if you yourself had a problem with the Indian system?
I think I have never said that I would frustrated with the system.
But you were live, that is the recording video. You said for the lynchings, the rise of lynchings in the mainland frustrated you over the last 1 year.
The service did not frustrate me. I told you, it was not the civil service which
So
frustrated
you had a
me.
problem with the system. How would you convince the youngsters? Because you are, as you said, you are gonna help the the people.
Nobody stopped me from speaking on those issues. In fact, they can as well speak on these issues if they want to, and they can take action as well. I think it's important to remember that civil service gives a very important platform to our people to work at the cutting edge levels of governance. So it's not that somebody leaving civil service means that civil service loses its relevance. That would be very, very unfair to those people who are preparing for the exam.
The killings in Kashmir, that is one of the reasons. One of the reasons that we decided for this year. Killings took place in 2016. Then why didn't you speak up that
I've
time?
been speaking out constantly since I entered the service. But when it comes to actual resignation, I think you have to remember that resignation is a very tactical and it's a very strategic move. It cannot be used every time. It's a weapon which is used only once. So I've used it at a very right time.
Dr. Faisal, there have been many attempts in past 50 years to reunite, as you say, with the politics of human Kashmir. We have heard self-plus, we have heard autonomy plus, etc. And we are noticing a new brand of politics which is being played by leadership, who says plebiscite on the floor of the house. And what else are you trying to attempt?
I think what I'm trying
Can
to
you
do
tell
is
us some broader points of that reuniting?
exactly. So what he says is that basically, what he says is that we have this political discourse. So there are certain taboo words. Suppose the taboo word is that we should not talk about Arab, we should not talk about RSD, we should not talk about plebiscite. All these things which are actually not necessarily the taboo words. If you're in a debate with somebody, it's okay if you can discuss. So I think let mainstream politics actually open its eyes to that vocabulary and reimagine it and try to own it up that we are not here. In fact, what has happened, the problem with our state presently is that we have asked politicians to deal with the municipal problems and the military to deal with the political problems. I think that's the problem. So we need to actually open up the political space to the politicians and leave other things for those who need to be doing it.
So you are joining in politics is happening at a crucial juncture. I mean, this is happening when Kashmir is going through extraordinary situation. People are saying that this can be another move from New Delhi to, attract people towards mainstream.
That's why I told you that it's a very sensitive situation that we are in, and my intention is not actually to divide the electorate or to change the vision that others are having on Kashmir. I'm not here as an alternative. I see myself as an addition. At the same time, when I tomorrow join politics formally, when you see me in the field, you will be seeing that my vocabulary and my representation of the sentiment will be as per the narrative of the people. We will see that I'll be talking a little bit differently than how others are talking. But then at the same time, I need to go to the people and actually make them believe that this is a very credible initiative. This is not something being done just to distract people.
So you think there is scope for brand of politics in existing mainstream party?
The way I have been engaging with youngsters, I've realized that there's a lot of anger in the way mainstream has been conducting itself for the last so many years. So I do not know this is going to be a very long journey. As of now, I believe that I need to create my niche outside the existing mainstream and maybe work for a lot many years before I can actually make some impact. So I'm ready for that.
Sir, when you say re-engaging politics in Jammu and Kashmir, so we see no chances for you to join any mainstream party. So therefore, they have only option for to launch your own party. So
that's what I told you. So I don't want to actually basically immediately go and launch a new party. Because what we will be doing is that we will not be making any impact, I guess. We will be just dividing the votes. So it's important for us to take that decision when we are actually able to mobilize support.
So is there any timeline, how much time it will take?
I have my entire life, especially now I am free. I have absolutely nothing to do now, so I have my entire life to do this.
Sir, shortly after your resignation, there were rumors that you are going to join National Council and you are going to contest from North. Were you in touch with Mahmoud or any political leaders?
Omar Saab has been very gracious in supporting me all these years. He's a leader and he's been guiding me, supporting me, but honestly speaking, they have never approached me for joining their politics. In fact, it's me who has many times gone myself for suggestions, for consultations, for advice. It would be very unfair to believe that I was being offered a seat by some political party and I did not agree to it.
Hotel Faesal, you said that there will be your vocabulary and so once you go out in the field, are you promising the youth something more than change your vocabulary or different vocabulary than by mainstream politicians?
So
And what is
basically,
that?
yeah, so one important thing will be good governance. We have seen the level of decline in our institutions of governance in recent years. So I think you have now a platform where you can possibly actually look now and get right people to govern the institutions of public service in the state. At the same time,
So management will be only government?
no, not at all. And at the same time, when it comes to resolution of the dispute, the mainstream political parties have, I do not blame everybody, there have been definitely people who have tried to bring in some sanity into the discourse. But mainly what we have seen is that mainstream political parties have not been able to represent the people's sentiment correctly. Somebody has been saying that this is a environmental issue. Somebody says it's a religious issue. Somebody says it's an issue of jobs. Somebody says it's an issue because gangsters are drug addicts. Somebody says Kashmiris are now a suicidal kind of population. I think this is the kind of narrative which has been fed to the rest of the country. I think this needs to change. So we should tell the truth about Kashmiri.
But since you talk of contesting elections, why would people vote you? What's in your pocket?
I think I am qualified enough to be an MLA and probably an MP.
So maybe he's
And
asking
also,
some manifesto.
yeah, my manifesto that will come once we talk to the people.
So mainstream politics has failed lot of people. Electoral politics has failed many heads in Kashmir, sir. You referenced
We need to
1987.
clean it. We need to clean. I'm an optimist. I am here to give a message of positivity and hope. I'm not here to give a message of cynicism and pessimism.
One question from here. Actually, there is an invitation pending with you from Veer Vice Murgamur Farooq. And number second, why are you biased towards separatist leadership? Since you spoke about the mainstream politics, there is a vacuum. So what about Hurriyat Conference from last 30 years? They have also been in the field. So what would you?
I think we should be able to judge the representative character of Hurriyat if you give them an opportunity to fight elections. They have not fought elections yet, and you never know. Those people who are winning today, we never know when they win if we have conducted elections. So I think it would be very wrong to presume that Hurriyat has no role to play in our state.
How do you feel about the 1987 like episodes?
It has been I don't think it was an invitation. I think it was more like a suggestion. It was a comment, and I deeply value that comment.
So what was the prime motivation for turning point?
Howard has given me one, I think, change which Howard has brought into my mind is that it's very easy to leave jobs and it's very easy to give sacrifices. I think that's one thing which I made me realize that people have actually left big things in life to bring change for their people. I think that's one positive sentiment which I got at Harvard, and I was very cynical actually when I went from here. I believed that maybe we will not be able to do something. But now that I'm back, I believe that we can change. Yeah.
After 2 decades, will your conscience be clear that you are not being used by the deep state as a guinea pig the way they have used intellectuals, writers for the last 50 years? You are not again used as a guinea pig by the state, and this clandestine operations will continue, not from you, it will continue onwards. This psychological operation is being done by the deep state on you so that their interests are perpetuated, and the democratic deficit which is in Kashmir is perpetuated by you, the way it was perpetuated by Hasib Drabu, the way it was perpetuated for the last 60 years by the Indian state. Are you used as a guinea pig this time?
This paranoia is completely justified. We have a very bad experience of people in the past. Somebody said us something, made promises, and then it did not work. But I think I can speak for myself. I think I I have the testimonials, I have the qualifications to say that deep state cannot use me, I might end up using the deep state.